more time. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Lamar County School District meeting. And as always, we start every board meeting with prayer, and I've asked Mr. Jim Braswell to lead us in prayer.
Right. Lord, we want to thank you so much for being so good to us. Thank you for the sunshine. We thank you for the rain. We just ask for guidance and direction so that we can make wise decisions for our students, our teachers, faculty, and our whole Lamar County. We pray all these things to you in Jesus' name, just as you asked. Amen.
Amen. Rob.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you had a chance to pick up a copy of the agenda back to back, you'll notice the second item is the meeting procedures, and basically it's a long paragraph saying that if you haven't requested to speak tonight beforehand, then you won't be speaking tonight during the board meeting. Moving on to number 3, we have approval of the general agenda. Do we have any changes? Got a motion and a second. A little discussion. Do we have any changes to the agenda? Good to go? Good. All right, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that carries. Next, we have one of my favorite parts, recognition.
Yes. So, start and.
We're going to fight over it? No, that's all right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Patrick Gray, and I'm the secondary assistant superintendent. And we have several recognitions tonight that will center on our CTE center. So I'm going to ask our director of our Career and Technical Center, Mrs. Ann Kelly, to come forward, and she's going to present the award tonight along with Dr. Hand.
Yes. And I want to thank everyone here that's here for the CTE Center. We have a fantastic, and not just a center, because we have programs out in our campuses as well. And just want to thank all the hard work. We have phenomenal programs to prepare our kids, not only for we want to be career ready, because sooner or later, if you go to college, at some point, you're still going to have a career. And so we have these programs, and Ms. Kelly's going to brag on them some more about some of the accomplishments that we've had in our CTE programs last school year, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
We're going to actually start with our student recognitions. The ones we're recognizing tonight are students that competed in their student organizations and placed at the state level or went to national. So we're going to start with HOSA. We have Mr. Eric Hall from Purvis High School. Come on down. And we have Mr. Gavin Pitt. I was going to let you take your group.
Good. All the
All
students.
right, so Eric placed 5th in the state for medical reading, and Gavin placed 4th in the state in medical spelling. Next, we're going to recognize our Students USA winners. These students were in a team competition together, and we are very proud to say that they brought home the state championship. Mr. Jeff Hurt, Mr. Sam Hancock, Grayson McKinley, and Mr. Toxie Davis. And there was a question about whether your team would get to make it tonight. And it doesn't look like they did.
They also get gold medals.
Yeah, I had their gold medal to present to them tonight from the state. All right, and those students also went on to represent this Lamar County and the state of Mississippi in Atlanta, Georgia this summer. Next, we have Mr. Travis Morris, as he's here today. All right, Travis is also a Skills USA, and he placed 2nd in the state for automotive diesel. Okay, for our TSA winners, we have Mr. Aiden Bordelon, Sean Breeton, Ian Choi, and Evan Wyndham. And I'm not sure how many of them are here, but if you're here, come on down. All right. All right, so I'm going to read off what they, second place in the Technology Bowl was Evan and Aiden and Ian. First place in debate and technical issues was Sean and Ian. Second place in the state in essays on technology was Sean. And first place in CAD engineering was Evan. All right, and these students actually represented us in the state of Mississippi and Dallas, Texas this past summer. And our final ones that we're recognizing is our Educators Rising winners, Miss Callie Grayson Graves, Jeremiah Keys, and Brianna Garrison. All right, so Callie was first place in public speaking and first place in exploring education administration careers. With Jeremiah, he was first place in impromptu speaking, ethical dilemma, and he actually got to go to nationals in Washington, D.C. in both of those events. And then Miss Brianna Garris was third place in ethical dilemma, and she was a national competitor in Washington, D.C. as well. So now I'm going to recognize our 2-year program-based teachers. And we had some phenomenal successes this past year. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about them as I'm calling them up in their groups. And I've asked them all to stay up here.
Yes.
So that's 15 notice, but not all of them were able to make it tonight. We're going to start with our ag program, Mr. Adam Courtney from Purvis High School and Mr. James Robert from Summerall. Both of these gentlemen are FFA advisors to state and national competitors pretty much annually, and they both have some national competitors going in October.
I've got one right there in the blue shirt. McLeod Andrews, he's going to compete at nationals for extemp speaking.
All
And
right.
he happened to be here today, so I'm going to put him on the spot.
There you go. Absolutely.
And then their classes ranked third in the state out of 40 for concepts, second in the state out of 19 programs in animals, and mechanization was first in the state this past year. Leslie Brown is not able to be here tonight, but he had automotive students and Skills USA. His group has up to 10 national certifications they can earn each year. And so out of their year one, they ranked third out of 48 in the state. Light maintenance and repair is their second year, was second in the state. Brakes, they were second in the state. Electrical systems, they were first. Engine performance, they were third. Engine repair, they were second. Suspension and steering, they were second. And he had a total of 18 students earn 75 national certifications last year. Did Mr. Donnie Socher make it? Okay. All right, so Mr. Donnie Socher is our Skills USA team that won the state championship. He is their advisor. And then his students also, he had 10 students earn NCCER Level 1 carpentry certification. They were fifth in the state this year. And 14 students earned the National NCCER Core certification, and they were 12th in the state this year. So now I'm going on to my culinary arts teachers, Ms. Debbie Miller from Oak Grove High School and Ms. Tricia Griffin from Summerall. As they're coming up, both of these ladies are student org advisors. Ms. Debbie has a state officer as well, and they went to San Diego, California this summer. And we actually recognized her students as, I think, the maiden lady. So, but with that being said, they earned 16 students earned their ServSafe Manager National Certification, and their programs ranked second in the state last year. And their Culinary Arts Year 1 students were first in the state. Ms. Star Swan, she is our early childhood instructor. She's also a student org advisor, and her students ranked, her Year 1 students were 7th in the state, and she had 4 students earn national certifications, and her Year 2 students ranked 6th in the state. So Miss Selena Parker is our engineering instructor. She took our group to Dallas with the TSA. Her engineering Year 1 students ranked 6th in the state out of 40 this past year. And her engineering 2, we piloted a new certification. We did have 1 student that earned it, and they ranked 8th in the state. So next we're going to health science. We have Ms. Laura Bales, who is at Oak Grove High School, and Ms. Megan Kelly, who is at our technical center. These ladies are HOSA advisors, as well as they have the stiffest competition in the state. There's 116 programs that they rank against, and their Year 1 students came in at 15 out of 116 programs, so they were top 20. And they had 26 students earn the National Health Assessment certification this past year, and they ranked 18 out of 80 programs there. Terrence Taylor, he is our new law and public safety instructor. I don't see him here tonight, but our law and public safety students ranked, second-year students were 8th out of 51, and their Year 1 students, which was actually under Mr. Danny Sibley, who has retired, but they were first in the state last year. Next, we're going to Metal Fab, Mr. Drake Broom. Mr. Broom has replaced Mr. Jeff Waits, who is kind of a legacy, but he has created his own legacy, so to speak. He is our Skills USA advisor, and he had 9 students earn the NIM certification, ranking 2nd in the state last year. And his Year 1 students ranked 1st in the state last year. Then we have Miss Amy Reedings. So Ms. Reedings is our Educators Rising group that went to Washington. And her students, Year 2 ranked 1st in the state out of 63 programs, and Year 1 ranked 5th in the state out of 69 programs. And so Mr. Bruce Lepe is not able to be here, but he is also doing one of our pilot programs. It's drones, unmanned aerial systems, and they actually had 5 students get the Federal Aviation 107 pilot license last year.
Only 2 in the state, so they're really comparing to what we were talking about. We're top 2.
Top 2? And then, last but certainly not least, is Miss Abby Henley. Miss Henley, if you'll come forward. Miss Henley has stepped out on faith with us, and she has actually been teaching our pilot program. That's the 6-Fire dual credit software development. She's at Oak Grove High School. She's also going to, this year, she's teaching an AP computer science as well. And we'll have all of her students will take their national certifications. They'll start them this year. Before we go, because I threw a lot of numbers out there at you, I want to read you a summary. This is what I feel like is really powerful. We have Year 1 and Year 2 of programs, and they're either CPAS or national certs. But out of the 26 programs, every single one of Lamar County is ranked in the top 20 in the state. 25 of those 26 were in the top 15 in the state. 23 were in the top 5. 23 were in the top 10, 18 in the top 5, 16 were in the top 3, 13 in the top two. And just to recap, Teacher Academy 2, Metal Fab Year 1, Law and Public Safety Year 1, Culinary Year 1, Automotive, Electrical Systems, and Ag Mechanization were all number 1 in the state.
Picture. I'll just bring it up and say, our CTE program is phenomenal. What are they, if children are interested in whatever they're interested in, they have many pathways they can explore, to whatever career pathway they want to. So we just appreciate you guys so much. This is so, want to get involved. All right.
Y'all, we have a really, really good meeting tonight, and if you want to stay, be part of it, you're welcome to.
Why don't you follow up with that? Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So, moving on, we have the approval of the July 2022 minutes. Second. Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Next, we have the approval of the July 25th minutes. That was a special meeting.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Next, we have approval of the ad valorem tax resolution number 1. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Next, we have approval of ad valorem tax resolution for Riverdale.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Next, we have approval to award pest control services to the lowest quote of $20,928 from Working Pest Control. That was our, we had how many bids? We had 3 bids, 4 bids?
5.
Was it?
Room Lock, May, and JPT, and 4.
Okay. So,
Second.
got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Next, we approval to hold a reverse auction for playground mulch at multiple locations. We have a bid. Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Next, we have an approval to advertise for bids for re-roofing Oak Grove Middle School B building as well as the district office. So moved.
Second, for a real quick question.
Second for discussion.
Yes, sir, please. The middle school D building, is that all covered by insurance?
That cover it all.
That just covers some.
Yeah, we'll get a portion of the insurance and the useful life, rest of the life of
Yes.
the roof was, and
Okay.
all that, so.
I blame Lance.
Probably that's good.
Any other questions? So we do have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Next, we have, decide whether or not to charge a fixed asset custodian for a stolen MacBook. Any questions about this one?
I understand it was stolen from her house, which was locked. and broken into. And I move we do not charge, for that stolen document, because she did everything our procedure asked. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Just to clarify, we're saying that since she, had it secured in a manner that is acceptable, we're not charging her.
Correct.
Correct. Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Next, we have to decide charge a fixed asset custodian for a stolen Honda ATV.
This was an incident.
You can explain. Yeah, please.
Since somewhere on softball field, someone was stored in their shed, locked up. Someone broke in and stole both the ATV and.
Thanks for that clarification.
So it was properly secured. Got to mention one of them as well.
I move we don't charge for that fixed asset stolen Honda ATV, again, since it was in compliance with our policy.
Second. Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. How about the 51-inch mower, charge fixed asset custodian for the mower, also in some,
I move that we not charge.
same shed,
Yes.
next to each other. I said. Okay, so we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Next, we have approval of a change to some policies, 3 policies, IDDH, GBRB, and DJEC.
Make a motion to approve those changes to policy.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Next, we're gonna approve to purchase some property in Summerall from Ms. Shirley Haddocks at a price tag of $60,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. We have Mr. Kevin here with us tonight for our 16-second land matter. You gotta say that out there.
First time I have is approved a new 40-year residential lease with Chrissy Bond.
Okay. So does the superintendent approve that one? All these?
All of those, they agree.
These are all your recommendations. Okay.
So move.
So we have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous.
Next item I have is approved a new 40-year residential lease, same thing.
Second.
Motion. Second. And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous.
Next item is approved a new 40-year residential lease to Robert Davis Jr. Kathy Davis.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Next item is to approve the assignment of lease number 127 from Judy Edwards, Stacy Edwards, Matthew Edwards, Avalon.
So moved. Got a motion?
Second for questions.
Second for discussion.
I understand basically that's just changing the names on the lease to expand it in case one person dies.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous.
Last item is to approve assignment of lease number 408, Don Dagger to Yacht Properties LLC.
Said what property?
Are you? ARY.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Thank you.
We appreciate you, Mr. Carlos.
Carry out the comment, please. It's always nice right there. Thank you. Superintendent.
Right, before I kind of give my little report, I'm gonna let Ms. Clark, I want to first thank Ms. Clark and her staff for hosting us tonight. As you know, we're in our I won't say it's new because we had it remodeled before the pandemic. And so this is the first opportunity we've had to be able to host an event in this cafeteria. It is nice. Mr. Giles, he could attest to the difference that this has made for just a dining area for our students to have lunch and breakfast every morning. So, this is part of the BP whole still money that we use to kind of upgrade this, to have a nice place for students to have. So I'll turn it over to you and let you introduce our curriculum focus for the month. So.
Thank you. Well, again, I'm Jennifer Clark. I'm the principal here at Lumberton Elementary, and it's our pleasure to host you guys tonight. Before we start talking about our STEM club, we do have some gifts that we would like to share with you. This is Ms. Emily Hodges. She is one of our STEM club program instructors, and she's going to tell you a little bit about that.
Okay, so our STEM club students create things using a Glowforge cutting tool, and then they also use sublimation printing. So they have made you guys just a little lemon foam. It's got your names on the back of them, and on the front it's got all the different schools and districts. Sorry. But they never have your name on the back of it. It's just kind of letting you know what our STEM club students are capable of doing with the program and things like that. So I'm so happy for us to you guys.
Thank you.
So it's the sublimation print?
Yes, ma'am. They use sublimation print, and then the shape itself was cut with the Glowforge machine. It's all new to me. I'm learning all of these things, just like some of the kids. But like we're really excited about the steps and the motion and stuff that the area that we're moving into.
Just to give you a little bit of background information, since November of 2019, Lumberton has had a 6th through 8th grade after-school tutoring and STEM program through the 21st Century Community Learning Center. We're very excited this year to expand that into our elementary, 2nd through 5th grade. And I'd like to introduce to you our site coordinator for the elementary, Patrick Quinley. And again, I already introduced Ms. Hodges, and this is Ms. Lockley as well. And they're going to tell you a little bit more about the program.
So, first of all, thank you for allowing us to share this with you. Lumberton is growing, and one of the ways that we're growing is this after-school program. So I'm going to take a snapshot that we took during our evaluation of the program in March of 22, and then show you how it's expanding. So in March of 22, there were 13 students who were participating in the program. This year, we've expanded to 28 students. We were at 3 grade levels, now we're at 7. Because of COVID, we were able to only meet 57 times. This year, we have 125 times on the calendar, which if you look at the minutes of tutoring, we got 1710, but this year we look at 6,250 minutes of tutoring. Wow. So I'm very excited about the growth of the program. We had our very first meeting today. Let's see, so we've had 16 additional students who've been added, 5 additional grade levels. We're meeting 4 days a week. And we've changed the focus of the elementary school program to be more focused on mediation and English language arts and mathematics. So now I'll talk to you about a couple of the activities that the kids are participating in. These pictures at the beginning of the show are for our junior high kids from last year. But they're taking basic materials like recyclables, and they are constructing out of them. And stuff like drinking straws or playing cards or Easter eggs, we give them a STEM challenge and they're asked to think with an engineering design mindset. And so they're applying those thinking skills, those 21st century skills. And honestly, the main impact it's having is it's teaching them grit and how to approach a problem from multiple perspectives, not to give up the first time that something doesn't succeed, because in the STEM lab, it's not going to go the way they planned the first time. Something like the Glowforge, for instance, it's a laser cutter and engraver. They're going to dream up something that they want to do, and they're going to have to work really hard to make sure that they actually make what they're trying to do. They are learning coding and electronics. embroidery is another skill that we're working on with, and again, it's causing us as teachers to have to stretch ourselves.
Yes.
Quite sign on for this, but I've been learning. It's been a challenge, but it's been a lot of fun too, and very rewarding. The kids tonight at our first club meeting, they ran up to me and they said, "Oh, I can do this! I'm so excited!" And that's on night one, so I can't wait to see where it goes. This is a really popular activity, go from camaraderie, which is really therapeutic for them. And again, they go. So we had an opportunity to meet the elementary school kids 2 weeks during the summer for a summer camp. And they participated in a program called Picture Perfect Sim, where we pair a storybook that is fictional with a nonfiction book, and then hands-on STEM activities, and that's the one that we're using in the elementary school this year. And they also did Game Invention, where they got to go on a space station. And so they were using some of the same materials during the school year, and they got to create things like their own space vehicle. They talked about adapting things like that in space. And we have standards in the club that we use, like coding robots that are a big favorite with the kids, and this fantastic, it looks like a giant Tinker toy set called a Ringamajig, and it's the most popular. It's on the they are phenomenal, and it's also a camera. The kids will do anything.
For sure.
Again, that's all we have to do tonight, but thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. How many students did you have show up for the summer camp?
It was basically all of them.
Yeah, all of
There
them.
was maybe just a
Two,
handful.
I think two.
For like vacation Bible school and things like that, that Sunday came the first week or the second week, but it was all of them.
They came, and they kept coming all the time.
Yeah.
And they came on day one today, they're really excited to be there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, we're continuing this through our intercession time as well.
Yes, that's
Absolutely. So, and I'm going to mention intercessions and just. All right, anything else you guys?
I have a question, what other campuses are doing this?
All over our middle school, middle school and elementary school.
Are all in after school?
Yes.
I haven't been in elementary school, so I follow on that.
I didn't know.
I just don't know, I didn't know either.
When y'all come and speak to us, I love that. Learning about stuff that we're doing. That's awesome.
So thank you guys. So that'll transition into my part, and I do want to mention first, we have fall intercession week coming up, September 26th through 30th, it is 8 o'clock a.m. to noon. We are providing transportation, and we are providing breakfast and lunch. And, you know, we want to get that word out. We have a sign-up form online. You can go to our website, social media, it's everywhere. We're blasting that out. We just ask parents to sign up, students in advance so that we can plan properly, because if you see those pictures, it takes a lot of materials to kind of pull off some of these activities. And so we want to make sure that we're prepared and have all the materials ready for the kids and the food and everything that we need to have a great intercession week. So also want to mention that the Mississippi Department of Education literacy team will be at Oak Grove Primary, which is now Oak Grove Elementary, because the last school year, what they accomplished, they are now, there's a press release from Mississippi Department of Education recognizing them as Mississippi Emerging Science Reading Schools for the 22-23 school year. In order to get that recognition, teachers have to be trained in the science of reading, exemplify a change in instructional practices, and embody a school culture that focuses on building skillful, strong readers in kindergarten through third grade. So I just want to congratulate Ms. Bates and her staff, her 21-22 staff last school year, and all the hard work they put into getting prepared and being recognized as a Mississippi Emerging Science of Reading School for this year. This is the second year in a row that we've had an elementary that has gained this recognition from the Mississippi Department of Education. Last school year, we had Ferguson Lower Elementary that was recognized. And we participated in that celebration, and we want to participate with Oak Grove Elementary Monday. And so just wanted to congratulate them publicly. We extracurricular activities, mainly volleyball, football starts. We have next week. We have some jamborees, but then every team will be on the field on the 26th, so that's coming up. And we also want to mention Last thing I want to mention is that Mr. Norton and I are working on some updates to some of our policies that are concerning concealed carry and medical marijuana. We'll have that to you guys at the next board meeting in September for your consideration. We look forward to that. So, what's all of that? So, any questions for me?
Good to go. We need to set the next regular board meeting for September 12th. This one will be at Baxterville School at 6 o'clock.
Good.
You have any, is that a motion?
Is that a motion? Okay.
Okay.
So moved. No problem.
We got a motion, but you got a second. All in favor? All right, and we have the consent agenda. Ms. Henschel, you have any questions about the consent agenda? Ms. Pierce? Mr. Braswell?
No, sir, you are gonna be at the next meeting.
Maybe.
You made the motion already, Jim, can
You
you?
made it, yeah.
No questions.
Mr. LaFan? No question. Okay, so at this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. Got a motion? Second. Got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that is unanimous. Yeah, it's 2 meetings in a row. All right. Great. So, nothing to go under other. So now we just need a motion to recess. All in favor? Unanimous.
Always want to recess. Makes sense.
Yeah.